Hello and welcome to my channel. This is going to be my very first video on this channel. I'm really excited. This is going to be Off the Chain by Amy, and my name is Amy. And I just wanted to give you guys a little bit about myself before we kind of dive in with what this first video is about. So I decided over the last little bit of December, beginning part of January, that I wanted to open up my very own crochet business and make crocheted stuffed animals and toys and dolls. Eventually, if I'm feeling brave enough, I would like to expand into making some apparel as well, mostly for kids and things like that. I have been, sorry, my dog's over here jumping around. I learned how to crochet when I was in elementary school, and I am 38 now. I remember crocheting when I was in 4th or 5th grade, I think, and like that's when I think I learned how to crochet. It was between 3rd and 5th grade that I learned how to crochet, and I remember learning how to do the very basic like granny square kind of a thing, and I thought I was so cool. I taught my friends how to crochet granny squares, and we thought that we were going to start a business even then. With crochet. So we would make granny squares, and we would say that they were pot holders and things like that, and bless my teachers because they actually bought them. I remember the art teacher buying some from me, and I thought I was the coolest thing ever because I could crochet and make these pot holders kind of a thing. And crochet's been one of those things since then that I put down, and when I would pick back up and put down and pick back up and things like that. And I have found that I have picked it back up in times that I really have been feeling a lot of stress and anxiety and things like that, because it was a way for me to have something to do with my hands, like a fidget item almost. And it really kind of focused my brain into doing something different kind of a thing, and to get it off of other things. And so again, I kind of picked it up on and off again kind of a thing. But this past December, I decided I had a bunch of yarn that I got from Hobby a few years ago. And it's that rainbow cotton, the 8-4, if anyone's familiar with it. And how do I put it? We didn't have a lot of money. My husband and I have 4 kids. And I was like, you know, I have all of this yarn. What if I were to, just for one of my kids, what if I were to make their Christmas present? And so my youngest daughter, I made her a doll. And I started it like a week or so before Christmas, because I would bring it, I'm a teacher, I'm a special ed teacher, and I would bring it to work, and I'd work on it on my breaks and stuff like that. And there were a lot of like class parties and things like that, so I actually didn't have a lot of students and stuff like that, and I didn't have like a ton of paperwork to catch up on at that moment and things like that. And so I was working on this doll, trying to get it done by Christmas, and I did end up finishing it by Christmas, and we gave it to her as a Christmas present. And after I made the doll, I was like, you know, I really miss this. I really miss crocheting. And so I started crocheting some other things as well. And my coworkers, they kept asking me, they're like, you know, you should really sell these. You should really sell these. I'm like, I don't know. I don't have time to do this. And even before the doll, in December, earlier in the year, about November-ish, so a month before that, I picked up crocheting even then again, and I made a baby blanket, and I made like a bonnet and a little a bunny thing that I gave to the other resource teacher at our school because she was having a baby, and so I gave it to her as a baby shower gift. And again, just everyone was like, and I would take pictures and I would send them to like my friends, and I'm like, you know, if I had all the time in the world, I would make these, and I would sell these, because this brings me joy, this brings me happiness kind of a thing. And this school year, Like, it's been rough in different ways. I've had rough years as a teacher. This is my 6th year teaching. I've had rough years and stuff like that, but this one's been rough in a different way. It's not necessarily the behaviors of kids. I don't know what it is, but it's been hard. And I think teachers just in general can feel it. Like, it's been hard, kind of a thing. But I decided after I finished making my daughter's doll, so that about 2 weeks of Christmas break, I was crocheting other things. I don't even remember what I was making, but I was making other things as well. And I decided, hey, I'm going to start a business. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to start a business. And so I decided to start a business, and I decided to name it Off the Chain by Amy. And that was the start, kind of a thing. I'm like, I'm going to dive in. I'm going to do it. Now, something with me, if I dive into something, man, I'm all in and I'm going to dive in, kind of a thing. And I was looking into markets and things like that. And I did find, one particular market that had, I think it's 8 markets this year, one each month. It started in March and the last one's in October. And so there's one each month. And if I signed up, the market booth was $50 per booth. But as an early bird discount, I got $100 off if I signed up for all of them. So in a way, I got 2 free booths, kind of a thing. And I was like, I'm going to sign up for that. And that might be the only markets I honestly do this year. I have one coming up next Sunday, and I don't know what day that is. That's April. Let me look up the date. April 13th is my next market. And I decided to go for it. Now, I actually, like I said, I filmed this intro video so many times. I actually filmed a whole getting ready for the market last month, and I actually ended up only selling one item at the market, and it was to a fellow vendor. There were wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. People were not coming out to shop and stuff like that. And so I was like, I don't really want to start off with that. I kind of want to introduce myself and things like that. And so that's kind of what brings us here right now. So like I said, starting a business, I feel all scrambled. But that's kind of what you guys are going to get. So if you're here and you jive with that, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I'd really like to take you guys along with this journey with me. I know there's other crochet YouTube channels out there, and I'm excited to join the ranks and to get this kickstarted and stuff like that. So I am a mom. I have 4 kids. My youngest one just turned 4 this past week, and my oldest one is 15, and he's a freshman in high school. And there's a 7-year age gap between my youngest and my next youngest, so my 3rd and my 4th kid. I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher for 6 years. This is my 6th year teaching, and I'm a special education teacher. I really do love it. Again, like I said, this year's been hard. I've been debating switching over to gen ed in a couple years, sticking with SPED, trying to get this business up and going so I can leave the education system behind me. But I love teaching kids, and so I don't know if I really want to do that. So it's all kind of up in the air where things are going, how much time I have really to devote to my business, and things like that. But again, I would like to just kind of take you guys along on this journey with me. With that being said, with a couple of things with my 4 kids, you might see clips of my kids. You might hear them in the background. And if I start a video at one time and finish it in another time, that's just the way it is, because I have to put my family first, kind of a thing.
Why, Mama, I love you. I love you. I love you.
So, going on to like kind of the second part of this video, I do want to show you the things that I have made the last couple of weeks. I did like stop crocheting for a few days because I was busy doing paperwork with school. Like I said, I'm a special ed teacher. I needed to write some IEPs and things like that. And so I do want to show you though what I did. Now I have already packed up the majority of what I made, and I didn't even take pictures of everything I made. But I don't want to get it all out. But I'll kind of talk to you a little bit of what I did make. So if I did get a picture, it'll be up here. And to show you kind of what I made. And I do have my paper that has like scribbles and all sorts of things on it, because this was my paper that I was using to post things onto my Square website. And so if you're interested in looking at my things and you're interested in buying anything, that would be awesome. My website is offthechainbyamy.com, and I'll just have that linked below, along with hopefully all of the Etsy shops that I got all of these patterns from, because I get all my patterns off of Etsy. I very rarely use free patterns, and I know this might be like a hot take kind of a thing, but I feel like if I'm going to be selling something, I'd rather pay somebody for their time in making a pattern than using the free ones. I would like to not just give credit by giving them the name of who created the pattern, but give them their dues and their credit by paying them for the pattern kind of a thing. So anyway, the first thing that I made was a fidget caterpillar. Again, all the pictures are going to be right here. And it's about 6.5 inches, like long kind of a thing. And that pattern is from, by From Jade. So, and it's a super cute one. I do bring a lot of my finished products into my school, and I kind of set them on my desk for like the day kind of a thing, to like watch students react to the stuffed animals, and that kind of helps me know like, hey, should I invest in making more of these? Should I like not make any more? Like, what should I do kind of a thing with them? And so I do that, and I did that with the fidget caterpillar, and a lot of students really liked the fidget caterpillar. My next thing is another pattern from From Jade. It was like her T-Rex is like this dino thing. And it was about 7 inches tall after I made it. A lot of my stuff, a lot of my stuff that I make with Parfait Chunky right now. Some of the things I make with other yarn, but most of my stuff is Parfait Chunky. My next one was this orange dragon. I don't remember the exact name of the pattern, but it was by Sleek Grace. And I made this actually from a yarn from Hobby Lobby. I can't remember the exact name, but it's like a snug, I can't remember it. There's not a lot of options in colors though, and they're all kind of like speckled, I guess you would say, or heathered a little bit, but they're super soft. I've gotten other yarn from Hobby Lobby, and it was like, just thinking of touching it, I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, by the way, and I have like sensory issues. Just the thought of touching some of that yarn, it like sends a feeling down my spine, and it's not a good one. I've had to bring yarn back to Hobby Lobby because I tried to like use it, and I'm like, no, can't use it. My next pattern is by DE Crochet. Dinner's ready. DE Crochet Patterns, and it's a black and white cow. These cows remind me of the cows from Harvest Moon, and I love it so much. So much so that I made an orange and white one. Now the orange, like this is the same color as the orange cow, but in not orange cow, but the orange dragon, but in the cow, it actually, to me, looks a little bit more pink, but it is technically orange, so I do have it listed on my website as an orange and white cow. But it reminds me of like a strawberry milk cow, even though it's an orange color. It has like, it depends on like what it's next to, on what like color it draws. I don't know. It's weird. My next pattern is by Allez Crochet, and it's a splooting triceratops. Now I was lazy. I didn't have my safety eyes, so I embroidered eyes. They're not my favorite eyes. So I'm not gonna hold that against her. And I don't know if I did something weird with the pattern. It's, but this is my splooting Triceratops. I might try to make more. It could be the yarn. I don't know what it is. But this one was by Allez Crochet. The next one was a huge hit at my school. I brought it around and like students were going crazy, even adults were going crazy about this one. This is Allez Crochet's hot dog pattern. And this is a mixture of like Bernat blanket yarn and that yarn from Hobby Lobby is the bun kind of a thing. So this is the hot dog pattern and it was a huge hit. Then again from that Hobby Lobby yarn, it's like the brown one, I made some chickens, and these are from the Oak and Marlow. It's the Mabel chicken that I made. Then I made this giraffe. This is actually the second giraffe that I have made. The first one was with the Big Twist Posh yarn, but sadly we can't get Big Twist Posh, and I haven't had in my Joann store in a long time like any selection of Big Twist Posh, and so I had to give up on getting that yarn actually a while ago, even though my store wasn't one that was going to be closing at first. Now they're all closing that we know, but it wasn't one of the stores that was going to be closing at first, but we still just were not getting shipments in, and I was not getting any new Big Twist Posh. So I decided to use it with that same yarn that I've been using from Hobby Lobby. I'll try to find the name and I'll post it down below or something. And it did turn out bigger, but it's such a cute pattern. The legs are a beast to make because you have to like crochet them in, and you have slip stitches so that it doesn't get super tall on the side. It's a beast to make sometimes, but it is the cutest giraffe pattern ever. And the pattern is by, I think it's Crochet Critters. Crochet Critters. And it's this darling giraffe. It's just, like I said, it's the second one I've made, and if this one sells, I will gladly make another one, even though it's a beast, just because it's so cute. I might have to make one for my daughter because it's so cute. And then I made a standing pig. Again, I don't know what these patterns names are specifically, but I'm calling it the standing pig, and that's just because I have some other pigs in my store. And I stopped telling you how tall things are and how big things are after I made it. Sorry, I'm not going to do that anymore. But this was by Crochet by Kelsey G. It was a super cute pig. The next one is by Allez Crochet again, and I was laughing so hard making this pattern. It's her duck, but it has like those hats and everything, and I made a grape hat. And it's because my oldest son taught my daughter the duck in the lemonade stand, the Got Any Grapes song, and so I thought it would be hilarious to make this duck with the grape hat, and I did, and my whole family's been getting a kick out of it. And so it's a super cute pattern. Unfortunately, I don't have any more of the yellow because, again, this was Hobby Lobby, and I went to Hobby Lobby because I was like, I need to make all of these ducks with all of the hats, and sadly they didn't have any more of that yarn at Hobby Lobby, and so I couldn't get any more. So then I made another Triceratops. This is just kind of a regular standing Triceratops, and it's by the same pattern maker of the standing pig, the Crochet by Kelsey G. So I made this Triceratops. Then I made some chicken nuggets because why not? I didn't put any eyes or facial features. I'm like, I just want to make chicken nuggets kind of a thing, and so I did. I found a pattern that had two different types of chicken nuggets. One of them is short, one of them is long. And so I made some short ones and long ones. And the pattern is by Patterns by Night. And so I made some chicken nuggets. I made 5 of the short ones. So far I've made 1 of the long ones. I'm going to make 4 more before I go to market though. So that I have 5 of each. Then I made a small, I'm calling it a small land turtle. And this is by the Crochet Code AU. Might be Australian, I don't know. The Crochet Code AU. And I actually got this pattern because the Green Frog Crochet made these super cute patterns of like these eggs with like little pets inside, and I had my husband pick some colors for an egg, and he ended up picking like this really like neonish green and then like this blue color. So I made the egg, and then after I made it, I looked at my husband and was like, this is a Ninja Turtle egg. Like, this is a Ninja Turtle egg. And after you see it, you can't unsee it, that this is a Ninja Turtle egg. And so I was like, I need to put a turtle inside it. Unfortunately, the Green Frog Crochet Patterns don't have the little turtles to go inside the eggs. And so I went and I tried to find one. I made it, and it was too big for the egg. You couldn't close the egg, so we just have a small land turtle, and I ended up making a pig for that egg. Then the next pattern is again from Jade. It's the jellyfish mom. So there's a mom. There is like a little baby that is inside the mom. I might make another baby before my market. I might just leave it with one baby inside the mom, but this is the mom, and there is a jellyfish baby in her. So then we come into the Green Frog Crochets, the rest of the patterns, all the rest are Green Frog Crochet. So with those egg patterns and the pets and the eggs, there was these bunnies, but with the bunnies, you had a choice of making carrots for them to go in. And I was like, yes, I'll make carrots for it. So I made 5 carrots, and I made a blue bunny, a yellow bunny, a green bunny, a brown bunny, and a pink bunny. So we have 5 carrots. Before I ran out of yarn, I couldn't make another carrot, and I wanted to save some of my yarn because this is from Parfait Chunky, and when I ordered from Parfait Chunky, I didn't realize kind of how small their skeins were, and I only ordered like one of a few different colors, and I was like, oh, I need more, which I did make an order, and I spent a lot on the order. I got 6 of every available color of Parfait Chunky, and only 6 of them were not available. And then I told my husband, like, yeah, I placed that order because our tax returns came in. I'm like, I need yarn, and I want to be able to just like pull and make things. So yeah, but that's all of these bunnies. Hopefully this is enough time to show you all of those bunnies. And then there are the eggs. I'm calling these like the Easter eggs with pets, or just eggs with pets. And so there was a blue and purple egg, and there's a white cat in it. Then there's a purple and yellow egg that has a bear in it. The green and blue egg, which has a pig, and you're supposed to have like a little pink button to like glue on for the nose. I didn't have one, so I tried to embroider a nose, and now it slightly looks evil. So there's that. There's a pastel green and blue egg, and that has a dog in it. A pink and green egg, and that has a duck in it. And then I was making, I made a solid color pink egg, and that has a unicorn in it. And she does have, because there's 2 pattern sets. There's one with like the actual like animals, and then there's one with like magical creatures. Only like the magical creatures does have an axolotl with it, but the magical creature ones have like a dino, a baby dragon, a white dragon, a black dragon, a unicorn, and the axolotl is what that one has. And I do plan on making all of those before the rest of them before I go to my market, but those I'm going to have in like solid color eggs, because then I can eventually call them like dragon eggs or something like that, and not just Easter eggs, because the other ones, they do have like a stripe on it, so it does look more like an Easter egg. So those are all of the things that I made the last couple weeks, and I am really, again, looking forward to engaging with you guys and making these videos and posting and everything like that. So if you don't mind and you made it this far, please, 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 please subscribe to this video, give it a like, and also, just so I know that you made it here to the very end, please leave an egg emoji in the comments below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.